Hello everyone! My name is Zara and this is my first YouTube video. This is something that I've always wanted to do, but I've been sitting on it for such a long time. But instead of, the mindset that I'm going to start this in 2019, you know what, I'm just going to start now because sometimes when you prolong things, you will just never get it done and you will just be postponing it. But sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith and start. So I'm starting. So what is my channel going to be about? Well, I just want to talk about life from a Christian perspective and just, share my thoughts, want to hear your opinions about things. I just really want this space to be really open, really honest, being transparent, just being real. Um, yeah, so this channel is for everyone, but I definitely want to have like a Christian perspective of things that anybody can benefit from. So yeah, anyone, just come, listen. It's all good. This is a safe space. But yeah, talk about life and maybe, I don't know, do some other like fun things like maybe makeup tips that I've literally started to get into. But yeah, so that is literally a summary of my channel. But today I just want to kind of talk about identity. So this is going to be my theme for this video. So personally, I feel like when you don't know who you are, you will struggle to find joy and peace. So I feel like the way we see ourselves will determine the course of our lives. Um, so for me, I really struggled with low self-esteem. I struggled with social anxiety for several years, um, which started in secondary school. So when I was in year eight, that's when it was really bad. Up to, I would say, year eight to, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze. No, sorry. Year eight to about I would say till sixth form. Yeah, sixth form was the hardest period. Um, so it was so bad that I didn't want to leave the house. Every time I would do something at school in terms of public speaking, I would literally run out the classroom. I would cry. Um, when I was doing languages, you had to do oral exams, and I would just panic because I knew that I had to speak to people. And yeah, I remember coming back from like traveling to school and back. I was so paranoid that everybody was looking at me, everybody was talking about me, and I would strain myself. I just remember I would strain my ears to hear everybody's conversations because I literally thought everybody was talking about me. And an experience I can remember vividly was when I was on the bus. This was like the school rush. I was on the bus, and as soon as I stepped on, this was a packed bus. It felt like the whole bus went quiet. Like it just went quiet as soon as I stepped on. And I always used to want to sit at the on the double decker bus. It was the lower deck at the very back, on the right hand side by the window. And the reason why I sat there is because you were less likely to be seen, and it was quite a closed off space. So I felt like I could hide myself in that area. And as soon as I sat down, it was like everybody started talking again. And I would literally feel like I'm hearing people say, oh yeah, look at that guy at the back. And it was just like, I just started getting paranoid. It was a really difficult time. But I'm very fortunate that I received help. I went through CAMS and I went through CAMS, which is a mental health service for young people, and I was able to see a therapist. I did cognitive behavioral therapy, and that really, really, really helped. And I really felt like God used that person to really give me someone that I was able to speak to, and just that really helped me build myself back up again. So I did that for about, I saw a therapist for about a year. And after that, it wasn't over, but it definitely helped in my journey after. Um, through it all, I was, in terms of my faith, I was kind of like, oh God, why am I going through this? This is really horrible. And I had really, really negative thoughts about myself, and I just was really depressed. But I just felt like I had a peace that I knew that this was not going to be the end. So I really felt like, although I was kind of confused as to why this was happening, I just felt like God was with me through it. And I just want to take this time to encourage anybody who's going through anxiety or who is struggling mentally, like, just that there is support out there. Like, don't fight this alone. Just know that there are resources and services that are there to help you. Um, so yeah, I just want to encourage you to reach out to people. Um, there are professionals that can help you to talk through it and to give you the right step. So I just want to take time to encourage you with that. Um, so yeah, so once that had ended, I still had my ups and downs. It wasn't like, oh, I finished therapy and then everything's solved. I still I had to really rediscover who I am and like build myself up, because one issue that one of the battles that I had during the social anxiety was that because I felt like I couldn't speak up, I wasn't, I would say, maybe an extroverted or talkative person. I associated not being able to naturally speak to people as a sign of weakness, and I kind of beat my personality up, because I felt like, oh, to be strong I have to be able to be not the life and soul of the party, but I need to be able to interact with people and really get my voice out, be dominant in conversations. And I really started to crush my own personality, because I didn't realize like, I'm very soft spoken. I may not be, um, I'm not very extroverted. I would describe myself as an introvert. Um, and I would beat myself up for that personality. But actually, that's who I am. And I'm now starting to embrace that. I'm starting to embrace the fact that I may not be the person to kind of dominate conversations, but I am that type of person that maybe says one thing and it's like says something, but it makes an impact. Or I'm the type of person to kind of be in the background and maybe like spot the person who's lonely and reach out. And I think I'm stronger in those one-to-one intimate conversations. So there's nothing wrong with being um, soft spoken, or nothing wrong with being introverted, because you just need to know where your strength is. And I feel like my strength is having those intimate conversations. That's not to say that if I am amongst a group of people that I'm not going to speak. Like, just be confident in yourself. When you feel like, don't force yourself to speak because you feel like you need to have your voice heard. Like, just speak because you have something to add to the conversation. And if you don't have something to add to the conversation, then that's fine. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. Um, so I feel like sometimes just give yourself a bit of a break, especially if you are quite, I would say, uh, maybe if you're struggling with that, like, where you feel you can add something, that adds something, and if you don't, then that's fine, and don't beat yourself up about it. Learn from what people say, and then if you feel like somebody can learn from you, then share it and find your space, find what works for you. Um, so yeah, that's what I have to say in terms of that. Um, yeah. So yeah, so I really kind of beat up my personality and stuff. But then as I kind of grew in my relationship with God, I just learned, like very recently, I just learned to love myself as I am, because I feel the way that we are designed, the way that we are created is for a unique purpose. So the way your personality is, the way you look, the way you act, like it's for a God-given purpose. Like God designed you for a purpose. Everything about you is designed for what you are called to do. So I just feel like it's sometimes you hear these things, but when you begin to like take hold of that truth for yourself, you will begin to like relax and find peace. And it's like it's okay that I'm like this, or it's okay that I'm like that, because that's who I am and I can't be anything else. So I feel like the more you begin to learn about yourself, the more you appreciate who you are and who God made you to be. So is this journey easy? No. And I feel like even now, I still have like thoughts to say, oh, you're not good enough. But it's learning to say no to those thoughts and just be like, I am fearfully, wonderfully made, or I am loved, I am blessed. Like, really declare those things over yourself, because the world will tell you this, people will tell you this. Even your family might tell you something about yourself which isn't true. But you have to be your number one champion. You can't depend on people to make you feel good about yourself. It has to come from you. And that's something, the more you do it, the more it will get easier, to the point where you're like, I love myself so much that I'm not going to take what people say about me or those negative thoughts to come and fill my mind and steal my joy, because joy is mine. Like, don't allow anyone or anything take your joy, because it belongs to you. So I'm not going to allow um, maybe society trends about how I should look, or um, when I see I don't know, different things that are happening, different personalities, and I think, oh, that is how I should be. It's like, no, I like the way I am. I like the way that my personality is, and I'm not going to crush myself, because I'm crushing the very essence of what's going to be beneficial to other people. So yeah, learning to love yourself is can be difficult, but when you decide that I'm going to love myself unconditionally, then it really makes a difference. So I hope this helps somebody. I know that I've probably waffled quite a bit, but I really hope that you have learned something, and that one day you'll be able to love yourself, because you are fearfully, wonderfully made. And one of my bedrock scriptures is, in terms of identity, comes from Psalm 139. And when you grasp hold of it and take time to meditate on it, even those days where you just feel so awful about yourself, just remind yourself of who you are, will honestly set you free. So that's my prayer for you guys, is that you will realize the truth of who you are, and you'll see yourself the way that God sees you, which is perfect. So yeah, thank you for listening, and yeah, like and subscribe. Oh my God. Yeah.